Hello, Marieke and Mischa. You are both here to present a shared catalyst proposal between your respective companies. But before we look at the proposal, maybe you can introduce yourselves and also your company. Maybe Marieke, ladies first.
Thank you. Yeah, so my background is in technology and agriculture, or food, as we also are used to the term. I'm very focused on data exchange farm to fork for the past 25 years. So agriculture and technology is not new to me. And I stumbled on blockchain in 2015 and really started to put everything, all my efforts into blockchain for food in 2017. And I'm still more convinced today of the value proposition that blockchain has to deliver to the food industry. And OpenFoodChain operates out of Amsterdam by and large, although everyone is at different locations. And we're here to really digitize and make the food a reliable industry.
Awesome. I have two questions, 1.5 question in that regard. So maybe just before, because people need to evaluate your proposals also to get a real good sense of who you are. Talk us a little bit, very brief, about the track records, existing track record of OpenFoodChain.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
Also it's on the website that you are in the process of having an evolution of individual product food chains to Cardano.
Exactly, yeah. So we started off, we do believe in the time stamping of data, which really means, well, I think the core feature of blockchain tech for the food industry. And that is why we opted for a fork of the Bitcoin tech or of Zcash, the Komodo infrastructure. So we had our own UTXO-based blockchain for each industry, and we operated, or we are operating in juice, in olive oil, in cacao, and now also in tomatoes. We're kicking off in tomatoes, and we realized that infrastructure was too heavy, and we wanted to move to a faster, more reliable infrastructure that is also much bigger than us, because we definitely want to address the entire 11 trillion food industry. So we need a big community. And that is why we came to select Cardano as the best fit.
Awesome. Great. Very interesting, fascinating to hear the story behind it. Mischa, how about you? You're here to represent Kraft Heinz, which of course we all know is one of the huge global multinationals in the food industry. So tell us about yourself and about Kraft Heinz.
Yeah, so my background is in process engineering. I joined Kraft Heinz 15 years ago, and I'm the R&D innovation director for the international zone. So we have quite a wide scope from countries that we serve here from the Netherlands and Nijmegen. We do that for sauces, for meals like beans and soups, and also infant food. And in light of that, we have a big need of transparency.
I was just wondering, just for people that are not familiar with Kraft Heinz, can you maybe give us a little sense of what a global juggernaut Kraft is in terms of maybe global revenue and global presence?
Yeah, so it's a 46 billion company. We are busy working in cheese and meat into the North Americas. And if you look to the zone that I'm representing, so we call it the international zone, and that's the rest of the world. And that's purely because of a portfolio split, because here in the rest of the world, we focus on sauces, and those can be mayonnaise, ketchups. Well, we all know the ketchup, right? That's our core product. And then big portfolio on all kinds of condiments and cooking sauces. Next to that, there is a group of meals. Those are convenient foods that are soups, that are canned fruits, that are canned vegetables, that type of products. Baked beans, of course, a huge product that we have. And next to that, all kinds of baby foods from wet to dry. With all these products, origin is an important factor. And you can imagine that for our core product, tomato ketchup, tomatoes are the core crop that we have. And about starting small, that is the reason why we tomato ketchup is not small. Let's be honest, but focusing one crop is the starting point of what we want to ignite into the business.
Okay, so I mean, you guys, OpenFoodChain, Marieke, you guys are going to provide, let's say, the solution. But before we get back to you, maybe first, usually when there's a solution, there's a problem and there's also an opportunity. So Mischa, give us a sense of what's involved in the whole process of food production from the farmer to the consumer, let's say. I mean, you can talk about it for hours, but I mean, just to get an idea of how it works now. And then for Marieke, we would like to hear how they can present technology to improve that process.
Yeah.
Mischa?
So if you take the example of the tomato, currently the industry is working in such way that in California, in Iberia, Spain, Portugal, and other areas on the globe on that same part of the world, the middle part of the world, that's where tomatoes grow fantastically. Farmers produce these tomatoes and they are picked from the field and moved into paste suppliers, tomato paste suppliers. Why is that? That is to take seasonality out, so to have tomato paste available for the full year. Otherwise, we could only produce in a certain summertime. From these paste suppliers, where these tomato paste are aseptically filled, so really clean filled, they can be kept over the year, and they are brought to our tomato ketchup factories. From these tomato ketchup factories, they go to the DCs, and they are transported into the supermarkets as such, or the away from home, as we call it, to the food service locations. So that is a field to fork story. In all these areas, there are specific events happening. So rain is falling on the fields. The sun is shining on those fields. The harvest is happening at a moment of ripeness of a tomato, at a location, at a soil, going to a tomato paste factory where in a certain moment in the season, the tomatoes are evaporated and produced into a tomato paste at certain temperatures, at a certain duration. Then it goes to a transport to a ketchup factory. Where is that? Which batch it was, right? And then up to the supermarket. And the last moment is the moment where the consumer scans a QR code. And during that scan, there's also a lot to learn about what is the consumer interested in. So if we have that blockchain, I have that full visibility of where the tomato which is in that bottle is coming from at that moment. What is the behavior of the consumer? Are they interested in that? Are they further scanning, further clicking? And that is information that is, of course, not only for us, but it's for the whole industry important to know what these consumer needs are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I hear it, it's an incredible process and an incredible huge amount of steps, and they all translate into data, right? So, and I guess, Marieke, this is where you guys come in.
Yeah,
so
and transactions.
Yes. So what is let's say in short, the solution that you are proposing with you in collaboration with Heinz?
Yeah, the full farm-to-fork traceability of a ketchup, and particularly of a time-stamped and validated claim, which is probably origin, perhaps a sustainability claim, a sugar content claim, or any claim that Kraft Heinz is making on the packaging. That you have an assurance that the claim is actually validated and where the claim has been made.
Finally, let's talk about the actual proposal. So what is your ask? Because you're asking the community for funding. So what are you asking for and how would the money be spent?
Yeah, so the money we're asking for is spent on our time, on development time. Just first of all, every ADA spent will be tripled, because we will double that and Kraft Heinz will double that. So it's a good use of funds anyway. So we leverage for every ADA, we leverage 2 more from us and from Kraft Heinz. And we spend it on team, on effort, because it's by and large to really develop the whole traceability for Kraft Heinz with the Cardano backbone. And we will develop the APIs and every bit of the technology in an open source strategy, right? So everything will become available to the Cardano community.
That's amazing. All right. And well, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Mischa. Otherwise, maybe just for you guys to both address the viewers. If you have a message, maybe you want to invite people to vote your proposal, or maybe Mischa, go first.
Yeah, I think this is an initiative that I'm supporting from a company, from an enterprise perspective. But this is not for Kraft Heinz only, right? This is for the tomato industry and any other crop to follow. So for me, this is let's consider this the oil stain, which we need to start. And it should grow into, like Marieke in the beginning said, into a big bubble where all data is considered. So not only the tomato, but also the sugar in the product, the vinegar in the product, the salt in the product, and so on. So and other industries. So for me, this is a bubble to further roll, but from our side on, we need to start.
Marieke?
Yeah, I'm inviting the Cardano ecosystem to make Cardano the one and only trusted layer of the food industry by putting everything what we have in terms of midnight, in terms of Viridian, in terms of originate to use in the food industry, and build it as an ecosystem together. But because I think there's the best opportunity for Cardano technology is in the food industry, and it's big. It's 11 trillion. It's big.